Shalom Aleichem, sweetest friends. This year should be a special schus for my beloved friend, Meir Simcha Stromer Shlita, Bracha v'hatzlacha b'chol ma'aseh yadav u'b'chol mishpachta. We're going to be learning b'siyata d'shmaya the Sefer Shem Mishmuel, and I thought the best place to start would be at the beginning. Parashas Breishis, Shnas Tov Reish Ayin Aleph. 1911. It's a difficult time for the Jewish people. It's a difficult time for the world. And the Shem Mishmuel is sitting at his tish. He's saying Torah to the Hasidim, because we don't let the waves of the time stop us from our spiritual climb. So he quotes the Medrash Rabbah, B'Medrash Rabbah, Rav Yichama Pasuk Hagu Sigi Mikesef. It says in the Pasuk that when you Pasuk in Mishlei, that when you remove the dross from the silver, then a kli will come out for the silversmith. So you have to remove the dross, the impurities from the silver. That's the Pasuk. That's how Rabbi Chama opened up. Amar Lazar b'Shem Reb Yankov. Mashal la'ambati shahaisa malei mayim. This is a mashal to a bathtub that's filled with water, and in this bathtub there were two nice diuskusim, which the Mefarish and the Medrash says means a table, two nice tables. As long as it was filled with water, they couldn't see the work of the diuskusim. When they removed the water, then you could see these tables. So as long as there was tohu vabohu, couldn't see the malach of shemayim v'aretz, the heavens and the earth, because the world was just a state of chaos. But when the tohu vabohu, this chaos, was uprooted from the world, then the work of the heavens and the earth was able to be seen. Breishis bara Elokim l'shamayim v'ha'aretz, v'aretz ha'isa tohu vabohu. Chosha b'nei Tamar was tohu vabohu. But when this tohu vabohu was removed, then we could see the shemayim and aretz. V'yatzel l'tzaref kli, nasu kelim. And that's the end of the pasuk. V'yatzel l'tzaref kli. So once you remove the dross, which is the tohu vabohu, the impurities, then the kli is going to come out for the silversmith. Nasu kelim. And they became kelim. Hadahu dichtiv. That's what it means when it says in the pasuk, Vayechulu hashemayim v'aretz v'chol tzva'am. That God completed the heavens and the earth and all the hosts. Ad kan divrei hamedrash. So, as we've said before, Chassidish Sfarim generally are Perushim on the Medrash. Just give you pshat in the Medrash, because the Midrashim are so hard to understand, and they give us insight not only as to what it means, but also to help us in our avodas Hashem. So, explains the Shem Mishmuel. Hine kol bria pratis mibrias shemayim v'aretz terem bo yom Shabbos haya kol prat uprat b'fnei atzma ke yachaser b'em koach ha'ma'achid osam. Every specific, particular bria from what was created in the heavens and the earth, before Shabbos came, each prat was bifnei atzma. The world was made up of many distinct, different details, because they didn't have this koach that was ma'ached, that would unite them. But when Shabbos came, Ach kasher bo yom HaShabbos b'chol bria pratis ruach nafshi v'ya Shabbos kamo hanefesh ba'adam chai. Comes Shabbos, every specific bria now got a soul, a spirit, and Shabbos was like the soul of a human being. Shavas vayinafash. What's vayinafash? Now the world has a nefesh. Now the world has a soul which unites everything. וכמו רוח חיים שבאדם, שהנפש היא סקלוס כל האיברים, וכל איבר משיג כוח כללי על ידו. And it's like the living spirit of man. What is the soul of man? That encompasses everything. Teda, she'ein suma molit suma. Why doesn't a blind person have a child who's blind? They're blind people, all of children who can see. That's usually the case. Why is that? If he's blind, why doesn't he pass it on to his child? The answer is that he's passing on to his child the koach klali. So he's missing out on this specific koach of being able to see. But the koach nafshi, the general koach, he's giving over to his child, and that includes sight. So his child gets sight. That's what he passes on. V'im lo haisa baruch chayim hayakol ever ifneatzma. If not for this living spirit, then each limb would be independent. Ve'ein zechibur ki chiburei ochlei kemanda mifritz dami. And this isn't a connection, because he quotes a Gemara that the chiburim, the connection of food, is like it's disconnected. In other words, if not for the spirit of the human being, which creates one organic whole, we would all be just distinct limbs which have nothing to do with each other. So that's the human being. And it's beautiful how our body interacts. That's the miracle of the human body. How everybody is working together. So harmonious. And that is what it means when it says Vayichulu. That the whole Bria, the ganze Bria, became one cloud. We've had Shir in this Fasemis. Fasemis is bidyuk the same Nakuda. It's Maridik. That the Vayichulu is everything became a Kli. Everything became one vessel. One united vessel. Shabbos Raza De'echad. It's the secret of one. It's oneness. It's bringing everything together, and that happened at the end. That happened at the time of Vayichulu. V'zeh shekasav midrash Rabbah nasa Kli. The Kli hainu Klau. The Kli is Klau. It's this general, overriding principle that unites everything. That's Shabbos. Lo kishivrei kelim shekol echad b'fnei atzmo. Not like broken utensils that each one is to itself. And that's what it means when it says when the tohu vabohu is uprooted. So l'chorei no move on. Shem Mishmuel asked the shtar kasha. Because what's this medrash saying? That when the tohu vabohu was removed, then the bria was seen. And when was this? The medrash says this was on Shabbos. Vayichulu hashamayim v'aretz v'chol tzva'am. The work of the heaven and the earth was seen on Shabbos. That was when it was completed. V'yatzel etzarif kli. Vayichulu, this kli. It's beautiful. But wait a second. Tohu vabohu was removed on the first day. It was uprooted on the first day, at the beginning. Shabbos, last I checked my calendar, it's on the seventh day. So what does it mean when the Medrash says that when the tohu vabohu was uprooted, all of a sudden the bria became visible, Vayichulu hashamayim v'aretz, on the seventh day. Tohu vabohu was uprooted on the first day. You're right, there was all this pratim that were created in the first 6 days. But the klal abriya, when everything came together, that was only on Shabbos. And therefore on Shabbos it's called that the tohu vabohu has not yet been uprooted from the world. It's well known that Olam, Shana, and Nefesh are all in one form. We know that the world, it says in Sefer Yetzirah, Bahar Sinai Kulo Ashan, it's filled with smoke. Ashan is Rashi Tevos, Olam, Shana, and Nefesh. That everything is found on 3 levels. The level of Olam. Olam is the world. That is space. Shana is a year, is time. And Nefesh is person. So in the Sfarim, they try to find expressions on all 3 levels. Olam, Shana, Nefesh. And you're going to find everything b'maskonas achas in one structure, one form, different ways, different expressions. And just like in the general world, so to each individual. Hamoach v'alevim keneged shamayim v'aretz. Moach b'chinas shamayim, v'leiv b'chinas aretz. So you have the brain and you have the heart. The brain is like the Shamayim. The heart is like the earth. Brain is heaven, heart is earth. The Yishuv Hadas, who is Kalulus Moach V'Lev. And what is Yishuv Hadas? Yishuv Hadas is when they come together. Is when the Moach and the Lev are united. Shehamoach Meir Lalev. The brain, the intellect, shines to the heart, to the seat of emotion. Ve'alevu melech ha'evarim. And what the king of all limbs, what gives life to all limbs, is the heart. It's pumping blood everywhere. V'aladei yishuv hadas nasa kol klal echad. Uveladei yishuv hadas nikrashu tohu vabohu. If there's no yishuv hadas, if a person doesn't have a settled mind, if there's no harmony between the brain and the heart, that's called tohu vabohu. So what do we have here? We have in the Olam, we saw that there's this notion of tohu vabohu, right? But we said it also has to be expressed in Shana and Nefesh. So the Shem Mishmuel is explaining now how this is expressed in the Nefesh. How is it expressed in the Nefesh? When a person is a yichud, this unity between the heart and the mind, that's Yishuv Hadas, that's beautiful. But when there's no unity, there's no Yishuv Hadas, when a person is not settled, you know what that's called? That's called tohu vabohu. So in a human being, tohu vabohu is when there's no Yishuv Hadas, there's no harmony between the brain and the heart. The Medrash Rabbah says, what's bohu? Bohu is malchus madai. Bohu is the kingship of Madai. What does it say about Bohu? About Madai? Shenemar, Vayavhilu es Haman. What does it mean, Vayavhilu es Haman? Vayavhilu es Haman means that they quickly brought him. It's Choser Yishuv Hadas. This Choser Yishuv Hadas best expresses who Haman was. Vayavhilu behola. That's Haman. And that's Malchus Madai. And that, Chazal tell us, is vabohu. In other words, this chaos, this lack of Yishuv Hadas in the world is expressed in person by Haman, who's Vayavhilu. And the counter to that is Yishuv Hadas. If you want to beat Haman, don't be Behala. We live in a world of Behala. People are running here and they're running there and they're so nervous and they're tense. Looking at their machines, called me, or I have to call, emailed me, or I have to go. There's traffic, hustle and bustle. There's very little Yishuv Hadas. Very little. Talk to somebody, he's to run, he's busy, he's rushing. You have to have Yishuv Hadas. V'nei b'Shabbos ksiv ladas ki ani Hashem mekadishchem. U'kumo b'chlal habriya k'sheba Shabbos nekar tohu vabohu. Kumo keinu ba'adam aprati. So in Shabbos it says, to know that I am Hashem who sanctified you. And just like in the Klal Abriya, when Shabbos comes, tohu vabohu is uprooted. Kumo keinu ba'adam aprati. So just like in the world, there's no more tohu vabohu on Shabbos, v'echul shemayim barat, everything is a kli, everything is together, everything is one, everything is working great. There's no more chaos. So too in man, it happens on Shabbos. And then the two diskusim noim are shown. Says the Shem Mishmuel, you know what the diskusim noim are? The moach and the lev. That's what happens on Shabbos. On Shabbos, Shamayim and Aretz. Shamayim, the moach. Aretz, the lev. The tohu vabohu is uprooted. And on Shabbos, the person has Yishuv Hadas. Ladas ki ani Hashem mikadishcha. To know that I am Hashem who sanctified you. That's the Yishuv Hadas that we have. The Ladas ki ani Hashem mikadishcha. Now the associations that these Gaonim and Tzaddikim make often boggles my mind. How they thought to connect this to that, to that, to that. They say Pshat and Medrash. Beautiful. So on Shabbos you see the two diuskas noim, that on Shabbos there should be a time that your intellect and your emotion, everything is good, it's settled, it's working together, happy, relaxed. V'zeh yuvan maimar ari zal techet odem arishon haish lahimtim bezivugo ad Shabbos. And mit das kann man verstehen, was sagt the Heilige Arizal. The Arizal says that the chet of Adam Arishon was that he didn't wait to have relations with Chava until Shabbos. Hainu. The bima yamam timat Shabbos haisa cholol of das de kedusha. If he would have waited to have beer with his wife on Shabbos, then he would have had das de kedusha. Ki Shabbos he das. We said before, la das keni Hashem bekadishcha. Talking about Shabbos. Shabbos is das. Shabbos is knowledge. It's understanding. And when he wasn't waiting, kishalo himtin, chol of das tov v'ra, because he didn't wait, the das tov v'ra came upon him. Had he waited, then he wouldn't have had das tov v'ra, because he didn't wait. He had das tov v'ra, and that's not the proper das. So this relates again to what we're saying, that Shabbos is a time of proper das. Das k'anei Hashem kadishcha. And Adam Arishon didn't have be at the proper time. He had a time of lack of das. U'lefia Amr, Yuvan Masha Amru Chazal. And based on what we said, we can explain the Chazal. What do Chazal say? Chazal say that Shabbos mevia geula le'olam. Shabbos brings geula to the world. T'hinei amaral kosav achilik ben goa le'gola. The gola behei, ve'adalad shebehei, mora le'pizur shebedalad ruchos. Ve'alef hu achibur shema'achid. So what's the difference between geula and gala? Between galus and geula, what's the difference? The difference is the aleph and the hey. Gala has a hey. What is a hey? A hey is made up of a dalid and then a line inside the dalid. So Maral explains that the hey is four. The dalid is four. So that's the four directions, and then the that's everything spreading out. And the aleph is the chibur that's ma'ached. The aleph is the connection that brings everything together. In other words, geula is aleph, is everything coming together. It's the achdus. And the gala is pizur. Everything is spread out. Ulahanal sheshabbos hu nefesh habriya shemechaberetz kol habriya lios klal echad ulekach mevia geula. Now we understand why Shabbos brings the geula. Because what does Shabbos do? Shabbos makes the entire creation into one klal. And what did the Maharal say to this thing, Galus and Gulis? Galus is pizur, spread around, and geula is everything comes together. And that's exactly what Shabbos is. So Shabbos brings everything together. So we understand how this medrash b'siyata d'shmaya, that it was tohu vabohu. We didn't see the diskusunim, we didn't see the moach and the leiv, and the shemayim ba'aretz. It was nekar, tohu vabohu. Then we got to shemayim ba'aretz, we got to the moach v'leiv. And that happens dafka on Shabbos when there's this unity between the two. And there's proper das. Adam Rishon didn't wait for Shabbos. And Shabbos brings Geula Olam because Shabbos unites everything. Okay, so we did the first shtickle of the Shem Mishmuel Breishis Breishis. A few more thousand to go. Shem should give us the koach and the moach and the simchas chaim and the financial means and everything else that we need in order to be able to continue giving the shiurim. And we should be zochel l'mod u'lamid lishma v'lasu l'kaim is called every sam l'terasa v'yahava. Amen v'amen. Shalom, shalom. Sweetest and most beloved friends.